My introduction is that I am Javed Ahmed Dar. I am from Bijbihar, Andhra Pradesh. And after facing this situation, disability, I started a school for children with disabilities, which is named as ZIBA, by Institute of Inclusive Education. It is in Bijbihar, and currently around 215 students are enrolled here with different disabilities, including hearing, speech, intellectual disabilities like autism, cerebral palsy, multiple disabilities, those having some cognitive disabilities, and also the children who face different developmental delays. And we all are learners till we exist. So when we has to prove himself or herself as the resource person equipped with not the mere. We sometimes give preference to money, we give preference to the materialistic things that are presently supposed to be as an identity of all of us, but we have the resources, intellectual capacity that we have to replicate, and we have to be first prove ourselves very much perfect. But we should always think that there is an opportunity, always an opportunity to go towards perfection, and the perfection is not attained. When we talk of the children with disabilities in education department, we have given them the name children with special needs, and this is the real term what we should think about. When we say a person with special needs, it means we have to give thrust on the needs that he has. We have to provide him those needs, and then we can think that he is able to get equitable education. He is able to get equal rights. But when we are not in a position to cater the special needs, how can we expect much more from the child? So this term is very much sensitive term. Child with special need, children with special needs. First, we have to see that an additional information has been linked with this child. That he is not only child, but he is a child with special needs. Sometimes we ignore this part, special needs. We see him as a child. As a person with disability, I came here and it was clearly proved that a person with disability can never think beyond the interdependence. And interdependence means we all are humans, we should be very linked to each other to make this world a beautiful place. Otherwise, if we think of our own, in our own boundaries, we cannot realize what is happening all around. Sometimes people say me that, Javed, you are on this wheelchair, this is that, here is that. But I have never realized my disability with me. I have always found it as my strength. I would have never been to the various other countries in the world. I would have never thought that intellectuals still in this part and I will be still on that. You are not, if you see my disability, then you will never listen to me. When you see my ability, then you are keenly listening to me. That should be our first sense, that every person has a capability. See that capability, not the disability. When you will see the disability, you will highlight the disability, then you will never find anybody as fruitful or as a contributor. You will find him as a parasite, as a person oriented to charity, as a person who is underprivileged, who has no. But it depends on all of us whether we want to see people as contributors or on the other side, that is a charity oriented or the parasites. Everybody has a capability. And when we cater those needs, when we give him the right kind of atmosphere, he will certainly contribute. Why not? Why he will fail to contribute? When we believe in today, you all will see that we believe in cats. We give places to many types of cats in our home. We try to train horses. We try to train dogs. We try to train parrots, but we underestimate children with disabilities. If you are really thinking of making somebody pet, you should adopt a child with disability. And after 10 years, you will see he will be a contributor and you will be known because of him. Not because of a cat, not because of a dog, not because of a horse, not you are giving a training to some uh, pet animal or just taming an animal that we have recently heard about the news that there is a cat infection now. But you will never find any sort of infection in a child with disability. He is very much equipped with lot of energetic things, but we need to see this. We need to realize where the capability lies, and we have to ensure that we should give a child that conducive atmosphere, and you will see everything is possible with him. So, coming to our topic, the first barrier we find in the this inclusive education is lack of acceptance. We never accept that somebody has a disability. We first label him, we first underestimate him, we have a lot of worry in our minds. What will happen? How we will cater him? But we have never tried to first assess a person, assess the child. When we will do a proper assessment, when we will accept him wholeheartedly, then we will find that this child is also able to get education, but there are certain special needs that we have to get. Just like me, I have need of wheelchair. I need a certain type of sitting arrangement, reasonable accommodation. That you too have to ensure that first we have to accept a person. Then second is that we should give him reasonable accommodation. When we reasonably accommodate a child, when we give him a conducive atmosphere, and you will realize that Riaz Ahmed Beg, who is without arms, but he is the case officer. He is presently holding. He has rendered his services in a number of posts. He has been ACR in District Bandipur. He has been looking the Department of HR, Deputy Director Tourism, ICDS, Social Welfare Director, District Officer in Badgam. So many portfolios were with him, and he did. And recently we lost Harshid Ahmad Malik, who was a wheelchair user. He was an IS officer. He also hold a lot of positions in the government. But when they got the real atmosphere in the schools, when they got a support system at their back, then only things can turn up. We have a lot of children who don't have the visible disabilities. We have a lot of people, we have 40 students in this classroom. We find 10 are very much at the creamy level, then again 20 are in the middle of the levels. But we see that 10 children are there who need support, who need a different kind of support, psychological support, and they then only turn out. Otherwise, we see a lot of students who don't have disabilities, they never pass the test. But here we see that a child having blindness is not accepted in the school. A teacher even poses a lot of confusion for himself or herself also that he is not in a position. But this is the only worry in our mind. We don't accept him. So first thing should be we should accept him. Second is the terminology. We give a lot of terminologies to the children. Children with special needs is one part. Then it is specially able, differently able. then it is handicapped, and all the new prime ministers, presidents of the country give new names, just like Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi has given the name Devya. That is some the person with disabilities are like the Devta. When a human comes to a world, he has same aspirations as other humans have. He cannot say that I am a Devta and somebody should pray me. Somebody should come and have some different vision for me. Although it is good that the lens of piousness is there, people treat us as a very pious, free from sins and other things. But the first thing is we are human. We are somebody's brother, we are somebody's son, daughter, and we are when we have the recognition as a human, then where from the other terms come? So again, giving sweet names doesn't mean anything for us. When rights are served, everything is taken well. Otherwise, we see that when people give us sweet names, just like I will give an example, somebody is Manzoor Ahmad here, and he is called in his family as King Ji, Sahab Ji. Sometimes he gets a identity crisis. Someone asks us, where is King Ji? And people don't know where is King Ji, they know him as a Manzoor. And in their locality, sometimes they ask him Manzoor Sahab, and nobody knows who is Manzoor Sahab because everyone knows him as a king. Same is the case with the person with disabilities, the children with disabilities. I mean, somebody was telling me that neurotypical, and I was very much surprised to see every day there are huge number of terminologies linked to the person with disabilities. And that is the real identity crisis, and sometimes we don't know what to call to the, and people are in a threat. I have a disability and I am proud to be a person with disability. Because it is not because of me, it is the Almighty Allah here who has given us the status that you have to go in the world. You don't have the legs, but you have to show how you will walk. Do you remember John Milton? John Milton lost his eyesight at the age of 40. He
Look.
totally got disconnected with his family, with his relations, and even he stopped writing things. But he dreamed that he was taken out of the heaven. He dreamed that some people were dragging him out of some good space where he wanted to enjoy. And when he turned back, when he was counseled, and he felt that there is always a kind of answerability, accountability, and we will be asked what you have done in this world. After 40 years, you have lost a simple eyesight. That doesn't mean you are not a human. That doesn't mean you will be given any relaxation what you have done in this world. And finally, he agreed that God has gifted with us number of good things. Though I have no eyesight, but I have the thinking power. I have the power to go here and there with the help of my legs. I can write even again with my hands. So why should I be discouraged? And finally, he agreed that disability is a kind of one sort of examination in this world. Who will pass? Who will not pass? And we see a lot of people discouraged in one place, living in their home. They are not thinking of anything beyond the four walls. But we see they have a lot of good things with them. They can do a lot of their abilities are there. But how we will utilize these abilities, how we will make them a contributing part of this world, a working part of this world, that depends on those people who are having no disability.
So isn't it again is the notion of inclusivity that we call a child CWSM? Why do we call him? Because we just need to just get him mixed up with the society.
Yeah. How equally we are treating the child, how we are reasonably accommodating in the classroom, that means a lot. Name is just to identify a person. I am Javed Avatar, you can realize that he is. But where my disability, you have to sometimes ask about my disability. Sometimes our disability becomes our identification, the wheelchair user, the person who is not able to hear and is hearing speech disabled. That doesn't give us any way, any joy. But
You have an apparent disability. I have many hidden
yes.
in apparent disability.
Yes, and these under the Rehabilitation Council Act, RCI is a body, Rehabilitation Council of India, and we have certified professionals for children with disabilities, children with special needs in the available. You have been knowing that CRC is preparing a course, running a course that is Beer Special Education, and every professional has to get certification from RCI. Then only he can intervene or he can take the educational processes of children with special needs. Otherwise, he's not a certified. If he is not a certified professional, then he has to certainly undergo some proper training. As education department with the support of CRC, they were running a foundation course of 3 months at least, and those teachers were doing a lot at the grassroots level with the children with disabilities. Then we have the Mental Health Act. Mental Health Act is a separate act that is the first act which was enacted in 1987, but it has been amended in 2017. Under mental health act, we see if a child is epileptic, if a child has need of counseling and other things, we can see them under mental health act. There are a lot of provisions how to get rehabilitation, psychological support, first aid, psychological first aid, and other things related to mental health. Then we have the biggest convention on the global level, that is the United Nations Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities, UNCRPD. It has been ratified by India in 2007, and it has been signed and ratified. And after that, India replaced the 1995 Act to a new act that is known as Rights of Persons with Disabilities Act. It has been harmonized under the lines of UNCRPD. What UNCRPD is saying us, UNCRPD has lot of articles in it. I will talk about them also. But our Rights of Persons with Disabilities Act has been built, has been constructed after UNCRPD was ratified by India, and it is ratified by the President. It is signed. Affidavit is given to the United Nations that we will create a kind of atmosphere in the our country that person with disabilities will be given every sort of right. They will not be deprived of any right, right to life, right to development, right to participation, right to equal opportunities. And, after that, there huge number of changes were brought in the new act, that is Rights of Persons with Disabilities Act. Number one, only 3 types of disabilities were earlier recognized: hearing and speech disability, blindness and low vision, and orthopedic disabilities. They were the only 3 types of disabilities which were recognized in the 1995 Act. But now we have 21 types of benchmark disabilities. 21 types of benchmark disabilities include blindness, low vision, leprosy-cured persons, hearing and speech disability, locomotor disability, dwarfism, intellectual disability, mental illness, autism spectrum disorder, cerebral palsy, muscular dystrophy, chronic neurological illness, spastic learning disability, multiple sclerosis, speech and language disability, thalassemia, hemophilia, sickle cell anemia, multiple disabilities including deaf blindness, acid attack victim, and Parkinson disease. You have heard about lot of disabilities, but why I am telling you, sometimes we ignore the basic legal identity of a child with disability. When you are identifying someone, as he is a child with disability, how he will get all the facilities in a school, how he will get different types of the schemes that has been made by the Department of Social Welfare or Department of Education or Department of Health, how he can avail these. He should have a legal document, that is UDID card or disability certificate. So first thing you all have to ensure as a teachers that their every child